Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing this wonderful day? Good morning to you. This is Magdalene at an IK presenting Barefoot Conversations with Magdalene. How are you? Before I go any further, quickly, some technical which hindered Barefoot Conversations from coming in live. So I did get some feedback from people what happened. Live, but there is a other episodes that I already have out there that you can always rewatch again. But I'm here today, and it's so excited to be here today. I missed you guys last week. I was so desperate. We tried, but no, could not do it last week. Nonetheless, we're here today. How have you been? It's been 2 weeks, I know. But how are things with you? How is everything? I hope you're doing well. So who is Magdalene? Like I always say, I like to give a brief introduction of who Magdalene is before we go any further, but excuse me. I'm just clearing my chest. Yes, so Magdalene is an entrepreneur and I have two businesses. My first business started from my own personal experience 18 years ago whilst I found myself as a teen parent. So the experience and my expertise, so I'm a musician, my voice is my tool, and that's when it started 18 years ago when I found myself pregnant, going through everything I went through, the hardship, the traumatic experiences. Many years down the line, I began to understand why I went through that and what it is I needed to do. So being able to combine experience and expertise together. And then Bob's your uncle gave birth to Music Relief Foundation, and we use music and the arts as a source of therapy to work with young people to unleash their creative spirits. The other business is again a spin-off from Music Relief Foundation, where I coach and work with women who are struggling to find their purpose. Women who are looking to start their own businesses but are struggling with idea of how to put their ideas together. Is it an idea? Is it just a hobby? Is it something that can be turned into a business? That's why I come in. What's happening today? Anyways, that's why I come in and help these women who are struggling to find their purpose, helping them to identify, to connect, or reconnect in order for them to live a purpose-filled life. What are we talking about today? You just have to look at the news and everything, and then what I'm going to say now, you will know why this topic came about. This was the topic I was actually going to talk about last week, but I said, you know what? I was thinking, should I still talk about it, or should I just talk about something else? But I felt for me to still talk about it. And so today's topic is fire on the mountain. Fire on the mountain. When you think of fire on the mountain, obviously when you try to imagine it, you see literal fire on top of a mountain. And if there are people that live on top of that mountain, obviously people are going to try to rescue them. And as you would do anywhere there is a fire. Fire, Glenford House. Tomorrow is going to make it 2 weeks exactly since that horrible event took place. And not just look back to that Glenford House. Just a few weeks before that, we had the general election, which took place on that, was it the 8th of June or was it May? I can't remember now, it just seems like ages ago. But we had a general election and all the party leaders were out campaigning, me for change, vote for me for change and everything. And not long after that, we got Glenford Towers. And when you look at you watch the news and you read the newspapers and the imagery that comes from it, especially when you're watching the news, it's so heartbreaking. I remember 2 Wednesdays ago, I came home and I sat down and I was watching the 10 o'clock news at night. I was in tears. I was crying, bucketing down with tears, and I was like, because of those imagery, the images are so powerful of people, little children screaming, help me, help me, help me. And many of them never survived. Many families never survived. A whole family of different generations wiped out on one night. And so I began to think about it. I'm like, there's Glenford Towers. And not long before that, we had a terror attack in London Bridge. I believe that was on the 3rd of June. And 2 weeks before that, we had a terror attack in Manchester at the Ariana Grande. And then you look at everything that's happening, and you look at the reactions of the people since Glenford Towers. In the news, we saw the people going up to the council, literally with anger, wanting to, I don't know if they would have killed anybody, but they were so angry. They just wanted answers. How could you allow this to happen? Bearing in mind that the residents of Glenfield Towers, the committee that came together, had complained that things were not right, but nothing was done. But since then, 2 weeks down the line, after we find all these fire experts and that person, that expert for this thing or that expert for that thing, talking about the cladding wasn't good. And now they're checking all the high-rise building as a deterrent to hinder such atrocities. Families are being wiped out. Generations are dying needlessly, might I add here. Because of what? Is this greed? I'm asking a question because I don't know what else to say. Is it greed? Is it the love of money that we're refusing to spend that extra buck to ensure the safety of human beings? So let's break this down now. Let's break this down. It's skin that causes people, I don't know, I'll just say people, to act in a manner that I don't care because it's not me living there? Or is it just a case that I don't give a damn of the human race? We have to know. Because innocent people are reaction on social media. You won't get such reaction on mainstream media. But the reaction of social media, of people, of residents, not only in Glenfield Towers, those who have escaped, obviously, who escaped the fire, but people who live nearby, who've lost family members, who've lost friends, is one of anger. They are tired and they are angry. And I don't think anybody should blame them. I've watched several videos that has been going through social media, WhatsApp and different things, several videos of people who are venting their anger. They are so angry because they're tired of this. They're tired of this. Is this a race thing? Is this sheer hatred? Is it just down to love of money? What is it? That the human is no longer a valuable thing. So me and you are no longer valuable to others. It should not be that way. No matter the skin color, no matter where we're from, no matter the religion, the number one thing that makes us brothers and sisters is the fact that we're human beings. And that should be the paramount thing. Look, an incident that happened. Was it just last week? As the Muslims were approaching the end of Ramadan, they were doing their midnight prayers, coming out of the mosque in Finsbury Park. And then somebody decides to play God. Somebody decides to play God and goes into his van. He wants to kill Muslims. Because of what? Because a certain group of people have decided that they cannot cohabit with other human beings. And they've made themselves superior. I said they've made themselves more superior to other people. And they have tasked themselves by doing this wicked acts, by carrying out terror attacks, attacking innocent people. Does that mean that everybody should be bracketed in the same way? I'm speaking in this manner because I'm so hurt. My heart is heavy. because I see mothers crying for their children. You hear fathers who have lost their entire family and children. You see children who have no parents, no families. How long will this continue? There is fire on the mountain. People are tired. They are tired of being used as scapegoats. They're tired of being used as guinea pigs. If somebody was to take a knife and cut me right now, the blood, my skin tone is black, but the blood that comes out of it is red. And if someone may be different to mine, but one thing that makes us together, that comes out, the color of the blood is red. What is it? Why can't we spend that extra little pounds to ensure the safety of another human being? Why do we need to do this? Why do we need? And the sad and pitiful thing about this is that where it's located is located in one of the richest boroughs, if not the richest borough in London. So what is going on? What is going on? Why is there still this great divide between wealth and poverty? Why all this political unrest? We went out to vote. I thank God. I'm grateful to God Almighty. But leading up after it, there's still so much talk. Things are not. And then we're still trying, it's like you're trying to get over one thing, and then there's another thing, and then there's another thing. It just seems that we're not proactive, we're always reactive. We are reacting after an event has taken place. After an event has taken place. When are we going to start acting when a terrible event takes place? I'm not a social activist. I'm not even a political activist. I'm an entrepreneur that runs two businesses, one for young people, one for women. But the main thing that causes me to have to do this, barefoot conversations, let me tell you, my listeners out there, barefoot conversations, it's the whole idea. I talked about it. I said this idea came about when I was in the gym with my coach, and we were just talking. And she said, you know what, you've been on radio, you've had your own, you've been interviewed, and also you've had your radio station and a community station. Barefoot conversations, be real with the people. Look at the logo there, that's me barefoot. Because I'm coming across real. I'm bearing my soul to you. And I'm saying to us, after I've been an entrepreneur, I'm a mother with children. Why are we doing this? What can you say to a mother who has gone through the pain of carrying a child in her womb for 9 months and then goes through that other pain of giving birth to that child, either through natural birth or through a cesarean birth? And then she nurses that child, goes for the sleepless nights. And then this happens. In the news, we talk about the 5-year-old child, a baby, who died in a fire. What do you say to that parent, the mother and the father? What do you say to them? How much money can you give them in exchange for the life of their child? How much money can you give to them? Does the money buy the child back? Even if they were to say, okay, let's have another child, but does that other child replace that child that has gone? What is happening? What are we doing as individuals? What are we doing as societies? What are we doing as people in position? What is the government doing? There's one thing to have Cobra talks and talk about things after it has happened. What measures are we doing to hinder these things from occurring? When it's in our hands to do so. When we've got the money to ensure that we have the right building materials. When we've got the money to ensure we have the right building material, to buy the right building materials, to ensure we have the water sprinklers, to ensure the fire alarm are working, to ensure we have the right safety equipment in place, and they are all working. It's in our hands to do so. We have the money to do so. Why then don't we do it? It's painful to read the newspaper. It's painful to listen to the news and hear all this evil taking place. You know, people can come on. I told you I've seen so many videos on social media and it's been sent on WhatsApp. People can come on and scream and shout and swear. But it's just aggravating other people. You're just aggravating even more anger, stirring up even more anger within people. And there's no need for that. There is no need for that. The pain that people are going through is understandable because they're either mourning the loss of their loved ones, their friends' friends, or the fact that they're just tired. Evil atrocities taking place. But there is a way of doing things that you bring your point across and you're not coming across as aggressive, you're not coming across as a troublemaker. Because if you come across as a troublemaker, you're coming across as aggressive. The point that you're trying to bring, no matter how valid they are, nobody's going to listen to that because they say, this person is a troublemaker. There is more that needs to be done. And this is not just for us to leave it for the government to handle. What can we do as society? What can we do as community to come together to support each other? How can we stand united to get our voices heard? How can we support our young people? In the past month or so, I've been talking about knife crime and the young people. How can we work with our young people to get them to really understand so that they channel their energies from the negative path that many of them have gone down into something more positive? So that all these gang-related activities that we've been talking about will end and we can do something more better. Who is benefiting? Is there somebody benefiting from the atrocities? And why? What joy do you derive from that? These are lives. Grenfell, the residents of Grenfell, and some of them, I may not even be residents, there are some people who probably just came to spend the night, who are passing through, and unfortunately get caught up. The Grenfell resident went to bed. Some were already in bed, some were not in bed yet. And some was a near miss because they probably working late, or they left home that night to come back home the following morning. Said goodbye to their loved ones, and that was the end. It's so much to comprehend when you begin to think about it, when you begin to try to understand the magnitude of this thing. When you look at the time and you begin to imagine that at one point, people were living there, they were laughing, they were happy, they were resting, they were cooking, they were just living life at one point in Grenfell's house. Now, it's a ghost town. What do we say? How do we console those people? We bring them clothes. We carry food for them. But does that heal the emotional scar, the pain? We hear about a 7-year-old who I think he smelt it or heard the commotion, and thank God, he woke his family up and he was able to get his parents and his brother, I think his brother or a sibling, I don't know if it's his brother also, out. But those ones, thank God they escaped. What about those who did not escape? We hear about this aspiring artist, I think her name's Khadija Say or so. Aspiring artist. We hear about now they're taking her work and exhibiting it. It's great now you're bringing it out there. She benefit from it anymore. She's gone. She worked from home. She worked from Greenfield's house. So she was aspiring to become great. Regardless of her situation, she did her situation. She did not look at her environment and say, this is my lot. She looked beyond it. She was looking at things through her mind's eye. She might not have had the money to have been able to acquire a place that she would have gone to work from. I don't know. But from what I read, she was working from home. She lived with her mom. She wasn't on the streets. She wasn't begging. She was aspiring to become great so she can help herself, help her mom, and help her community. So my question now, is it a crime to be poor? Is it a crime to be poor? That you find yourself in a Grenfell Tower, or you find yourself in a place that you're having to just make do of for now until you can move to something else. And as such, you're striving to become great. But then people just look at you and feel there's no hope because of where you live, because of the postcode that you live in. They feel that there is nothing good that will come from where you are. We should never, there's a saying that goes, don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge me because of where I live. Don't judge me and make your conclusion because of the color of my skin. Don't judge me and make your conclusion because of what you've heard. Judge me and make your conclusion after you've met me and spoken to me and heard from me. People should not be looked down on because they don't have money. People should not be looked down on because they're not in a certain status or belong to a certain clique. People should not be looked down on because of where they live. We're human beings. The color of the blood is red. And likewise, anybody else with a different skin tone to mine, the color of the blood is red. And that's what makes us one people. And we should learn to work as one. We should be our brother's keeper. That's what the Bible tells us. Be your brother's keeper. Stand together and be united. Stand as one. When we all come together and stand as one for one common good, we are more powerful than when we come together and become aggressive and want to fight and pull down and start to swear. You are just stirring up even more anger and hatred within. And what good is that? How do we get our points across when everybody's angry, everybody's a place for that? Don't get me wrong, because emotions are running high. But we need to get to a place that we then calm down so that your points, your valuable points will come across. I want to say to people out there who are listening and who will listen, There is fire on the mountain. People are tired. People are fed up. And we can no longer live life the way we've been living life and feel that it's okay. It don't matter. People matter. People matter. Not just one particular race. People matter. And as such, we need to support and help each other out. On that note, I'm just going to bow out now. Change is needed. In order for us to move forward, change is needed. You have a great day. Have a great day. Think about what I've said. Let's be reflective of what the words I've said. Because we can't live life like this. There is fire on the mountain. We can't live life like this any longer. Until next time, you have a great day. Have a safe day. Have a safe week. And by the grace of God, I will see you again next week, Tuesday. Bye for now.